Hey guys, my voice is a little bit short today, so I'm just gonna do a short video today because I've had not pneumonia, I've had the flu this past week, and my voice is a little bit gone, and I got a really bad cough. As most of you guys know, anybody that lives around here, so a lot of you guys live around here, and we see each other at the get-togethers and stuff like that. But this week here has been a rough week. But anyway, I want to talk about something about those moments that we all look forward to, and you kind of live life for, because they're kind of fun moments. Sometimes they're not fun. Sometimes it's a tragedy or something like that, but it brings people together when you go through those tragedies. Or maybe it's just a kind of a funny moment or a touching moment or something like that. And I want to talk about this a little bit because, we all want to make new moments like that. We all want to have those new moments, and when you bond with somebody, or you have that special moment with somebody, and sometimes it's with a friend, or sometimes it's with your girlfriend, or your wife, or sometimes it's with somebody from years ago, like your stepfather or something. And sometimes those memories come back, maybe when you're watching a TV program or a TV show or a movie or listening to music or something like that. And I want to talk about that today because it's actually something you guys might enjoy too. And I want to talk about this because it's a video I watched, and I'm going to tell you the whole story. Like Paul Harvey would say, the rest of the story. And I actually have two great stories to tell you. And these are the moments I'm talking about. Is this. I was watching a TV miniseries from 1983, I think it was. It's called The Thorn Birds with Richard Chamberlain, and it had a lot of pretty good actors in there. It was a really, really good story. They did a really good job on it. Some parts kind of lack a little bit, but for the most part, the whole series holds up if you watch it all the way to the end. And it kind of invokes, it's kind of like a tearjerker to watch, but it's like a good family show or a good mini series to watch. It's 6 hours long. You can rent it on Apple TV. There's other places out there you can rent it also. I think I paid about $20 for it to watch it, and it was well worth watching again. And actually, this time here, I actually picked up a little bit more on it while I was watching it. But while I was watching it, I was sitting there watching it, and there's a lot of, it's kind of a tearjerker. There's a lot of sad parts in it. There's a lot of joyous moments, but there's also a lot of sad parts in it. And when I was watching it, it brought me back to the first time that I had saw it. And I had just gotten out of the Navy the first time I saw this. And I saw it advertised. It was being advertised almost every day on the whatever channel it was on. It says, be sure to watch this here. It's, a great mini series starring Richard Chamberlain and all this. And it was like, I says, I'm going to watch that. My stepfather says, let's watch that, Steve. I says, all right. My stepfather and I were really close. He was a good friend of mine, not just my stepdad, but he was also like a friend. We used to go fishing together and everything. And he was ex-Navy, and I had just gotten out of the Navy. And we really bond as fishing buddies, and kind of in a father-son kind of way too. He was like a second father to me, even though I love my father the most. I mean, my stepdad, Charlie, was really like this with me. It was like having a second dad, and it was really great having that, because we used to go out in the boat together and go fishing and do a lot of things together. But I remember that week we were sitting there watching this mini series, and I believe it started on a Monday night and it ended on Thursday night. So we started watching it on that Monday night, and I remember watching it, and there's so many sections in there where it gets kind of, teary-eyed, because some of the cast members, they start, either they get killed or they get injured or hurt or die or whatever. And it's kind of sad, because it's a story about a family, the Clearys, and it's just a really, really good show. But I remember we were sitting there, he was watching it, I was watching it, and I could see Charlie over there, and he was sitting there, and he started having tears running down his eyes. And I says, Charlie, you crying at this show, right? And he looked at me and started laughing. He goes, shut up, right? And I started laughing, but I was also feeling the same feelings he was feeling. So when I went to laugh, I kind of like shuddered a little bit, and I kind of let him know that I was kind of, crying too. But the both of us were like two teary-eyed idiots sitting there watching the show, the Thorn Birds. It was kind of like one of those moments where it was funny, but it was sad because you were watching a sad movie, but it wasn't true. But we both laughed about it, during that time. We both started laughing really hard, but we were crying at the same time because of what we had just saw in the show. And the two of us, we just started laughing and laughing and laughing, and we were crying at the same time. And it was just, when I watched that show again, it brought back that memory of my stepdad, almost like he was in the room with me. I'm sure you guys remember that too. But I want to talk about this a little bit tonight because over here we're making new memories in the Philippines. And, I just started seeing my girlfriend a little while ago, and we've made a lot of memories. We kind of have some of those great memories too now, and we're making new memories. And a lot of us forget that as we make our new life over here, we're making those new memories. And also my friends over here, if there's ever a time when I've made a lot of memories, it's with my friends Eugene and Justin and many other people here, and Rich B, and just going out and having a good time. And I got my friend Mike Miller, who calls me up and checks on me every once in a while, just to joke with me or whatever. And you have those things that, where you're making these new memories with people, and you have those moments with these people too. But I mean, it kind of reminded me of one time with my dad. My dad and I, growing up, I always knew my dad loved me, but he wasn't like a lovey-dovey type, huggy type person. He would never hug you. Even as a little boy, he wouldn't hug you. He would show his love in other ways. He was a loving person, but he couldn't show it because he was abused by his father when he was younger, physically abused. And it kind of changed the way his mentality worked on loving people. And it was unfortunate because my dad was a very, very, very loving person. But I remember when I was going to the Navy, and I was kind of wishing that my dad was a loving person, because, I remember I wanted him to show me that he loved me when I was getting ready to leave. And it was kind of funny. I get up this particular morning to get ready to join the Navy, to go in to boot camp that day and take the plane out to Chicago. And as I was getting ready to jump into the recruiter's car, I went to look for my dad to say goodbye. I couldn't find him. I'm yelling for my dad, but he wouldn't answer. And all of a sudden I looked out back, and my dad was facing with his back towards me, looking down at the trees in the backyard, but he wouldn't turn around. And I was wondering why he wouldn't turn around. Like, why does he have his back towards me? And I'm asking him, let him know that I'm leaving. I was kind of baffled. I was actually kind of hurt for a second. I was really looking forward to going to boot camp and having that new freedom and starting my whole life over and stuff. And I remembered when my dad turned around finally, he says, "Dad, you okay?" And I remember touching his back, and he turned around and he had tears in his eyes, and he was missing me already, and I seen the tears running down his eyes, and I was trying to be strong because I'm going to jump in a car full of guys, and I don't want to have a bunch of tears running down my face. Here I am, I'm joining the military, and you're trying to be tough, and all of a sudden you're not, and you realize just how tough you are at that moment. But I remembered it changed my whole way of thinking when I was in boot camp, because I really missed my dad then. Because of that moment, I missed him even more. I realized, it was like one of those touching moments when something happens and something changes the way you think about somebody. But all of us have those moments. We have them here. Some of them are good moments, some of them are bad moments. But the Philippines, definitely you will meet a lot of wonderful people over here that'll give you moments like that. And people change, remember that. And a lot of Filipinos have gone into my life. They've come in really good people, and then sometimes you find out that they're not the people that you think they are. We've had that happen too, and some people will stay in your life for the rest of your life, and they'll never leave, and they'll always be your friend. And I have a friend like that with my friend Glenda. We're very like this. We're very close, very tight. We have each other's backs, and a lot of other people here, like my friend Eugene. When you have friendships like that, guys, and you know that they're true, hold them tight in your heart, because those are worth more than any money. They're worth more than anything in the world, to have that friendship and those moments, like I was just talking about. When you make moments and you make what I call life with people, and you know that you're meant to be together as friends or whatever, hold on to that. Granted, people do change, but true friends, I should say, will stay there with you, and they'll be there for you whenever you need them, you know? And when you're over here in the Philippines, find those people, and I've found many. I have my friend Sam, Eugene, Justin. We have new people here, Steve, and we have Rich Falzone, and so many others that I can't even, Tim. Really wonderful people that have looked out for me when I've had problems, and I feel like I owe that back to them. Don't forget to pay those people back too when they're there for you. Look out and give the same back to them when they need it. Be that same friend to them that they were to you. Anyway, guys, God bless. Take care. I hope you enjoyed today's show. It's just something I wanted to talk about today. Some people were requesting that I do more of these type of talks, because some of you guys were interested in talking about like psychological stuff. We're still going to talk about the Philippines stuff, and this does tie in with the Philippines kind of, but in a different way, in a different fashion. And I'm sorry for my voice, guys. But anyway, guys, God bless. Take care. Love you guys.